I need glasses, you guys. But I'm gonna be decorating the porch for summer, but probably been decorated for spring, but it's okay. I'm gonna read to enjoy. Let's get to the book that I am reading. Hey you guys, welcome back to another vlog. I am beautiful. I told you guys I was gonna update my porch for spring. Before I know it, I'm gonna be decorating the porch for summer, but I should have probably been decorated for spring, but it's okay. Anyway, we're gonna do like a soft spring decorating the front porch. Not much. I'm just gonna use some items that I had from last year. I'm not gonna redo the entire house for spring, but that's what we're gonna be doing today. And also, I just want to give you guys an update on the fireplace. We do have like the border and everything up. I don't know if I'm gonna show y'all because I said I don't want to show that part. So I did tell you guys last week that I chose the book Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston. We're gonna basically be reading that for the month of April. I'm thinking about doing like a TBR because I have some series of books that I haven't completed. So yeah, we'll get to that though. I want to give you guys the update on my book, right? So I haven't started reading it just yet. My nose, and I feel like I'm talking out of my nose. Like, let's get to the book that I am reading, Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston, and she is also the author of First Lie Win. I have that book, but I haven't read it, and I hope that's not like I don't think it's a series. Hopefully it's not. I have that book in my Kindle, and I didn't even know it was by this author, but yeah, basically I guess I'm gonna read that one too. Sniffles, what? Okay, I'm trying to adjust. I don't know. Camera light, certain way I move, it's getting dark, and then so hopefully. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and read about this book. 2 women, 1 dead husband, and only 1 alibi. Everyone at Chantelly's bar noticed out-of-towner Camille Bliss. Red lips, designer heels, sipping a Negronia. But that woman wasn't Camille Bliss. It was Aubrey Price. Camille Bliss appears to have the picture-perfect life. She's married to hotshot lawyer Ben and is the daughter of a wealthy Louisiana family. Only nothing is as it seems. Camille believes Ben has been hiding dirty secrets for years, but she can't find proof because he tracks her every move. Aubrey Price has been haunted by the terrible night that changed her life a decade ago, and she's convinced Benjamin Bliss, Ben, knows something about it. Living in a house full of criminals, Aubrey's oh, God bless me. Oh, goodness. Living in a house full of criminals, Aubrey understands there's more than one way to get to the truth, and she may have found the best way. Aubrey and Camille hatch a plan. It sounds simple. For 12 hours, Aubrey will take Camille's place. Camille will spy on Ben, and the 2 women will get answers they desperately seek. Except the next morning, Ben is found murdered. Both women need an airtight alibi, but only one of them has it, and only one false step is all it takes for everything to come undone. So I'm going to pick you guys back up probably tomorrow and then read a little bit in the process. Yeah. So I will talk to you guys in a second. Hey y'all, it is actually some days later. I haven't been picking y'all up. A girl been busy. I was like, let me go ahead and pick up my camera today, update you guys. I haven't been reading that much, but before the month of April is out, I'm gonna complete this book. I'm not gonna read to rush and get done with the book. I'm gonna read to enjoy my book because it helps me, like, you know, in my little peaceful time out while the kids are at school, doctor's appointment or whatever, you know. Speaking of doctor's appointment, I did go to the eye doctor. Yeah, I need glasses, you guys. I had to put in an order for some glasses. I brought 2 pair. My insurance covered like half of it. The other half I had to pay. Y'all, I can't wait to show y'all. I wasn't expecting, I guess, the news that I got about my eyes. I got a little news about what's going on. It's no like major health issues or anything like that, but it is something that's, you know, happening. The doctor was telling me, yeah, you have 20/40 vision. And so mind you, that's like my first time ever going to the eye doctor since I was a kid. So I don't know what like 20/40 is or anything like that. At first I thought it was like 50/50. And then he was telling me about the 20/40 whatever. So when I got in my car, I was like, he said I got 20/40. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know just how you like play back stuff in your mind? And I'm like, I meant to ask him, like, he explained exactly what it was, but we were talking about a lot of things, so it's like that kind of bypassed my mind. When I tried to remember to ask him, I forgot. But when I got in the car and I remembered, I'm like, wait, he said something about 20/40 vision. And I'm like, let me like look that up. And it said that it's basically what a person can see at 40%, I can see at 20%. And that's what he did say, like, as he was explaining it. And I was like, oh, that's what he said, and that's what he was talking about. And me and my daughter, we was kind of like chuckling about it, because I'm like, I always had 50/50 vision. Like I always been able to see, like, even from far, like able to read small letters, like you would not even believe. Like people used to ask me, like, you can see that? Like, yeah, but now not a chance. He did share with me, like, it can either get worse over time or at a standstill. Like basically, if I wear my glasses always, like, you know, I'll be okay. But like if I not wear them and like go a long period of time without wearing them, then I may create a bigger problem. And another update, so my husband, he has not started back on my fireplace. I get it, he's been working, he's a dad and he's a husband, and he played a lot of roles for a lot of different things. You know, I'm patient. He do everything around here anyway, so I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'll be patient. But he have everything set up. The only thing that he have to do is put the stone on the fireplace. And I believe I showed you guys the stone. I actually have a piece. I didn't even know this was sitting right here, but this broke off. I don't know how that broke off, but this is the stone that we're going to use for the fireplace. It is so gorgeous. Like, you guys have to see this in person. Like, it's so pretty. I mean, of course, you're probably not be able to see it in person, but it's really pretty. If you go to Home Depot, you'll be able to see it in person. It's really pretty. I don't know the name of it. I'll get the name in the box if y'all want to see it in person. But yeah, that's how this looks. So it's the same one like he have on our bar downstairs and also around our bathroom window. Yeah, and then he put a different floor like in the front of the fireplace. He put like a different floor down, so that's pretty. And I'm just being patient. He have everything stacked up so neatly, all his tools and the stones, and he have everything, you know, so when he get to work, he's gonna do it. He did tell me though, he said, I want to be done with this by May 1st. So I was like, okay. So my daughter prom is coming up, and he really want to be done like by her prom. So, but he said the date May 1st, so I'm just gonna keep it as May 1st. Update on her prom. We're gonna make it look beautiful. I'm gonna say that. I did not get a haul or anything like that because she didn't want me to get a haul. She don't know how I'm gonna decorate. She trusts my vision, so she don't mind, you know. So yeah. So that is an update with her prom. For my update on Anatomy of an Alibi, I'm on chapter 9 or 10. So far in the book, we have Aubrey and Camille. What I'm learning from the characters, because it's doing a little bit of character building. Camille is basically in a relationship with Benjamin, whatever you want to call him. They have a really good life. She feel like she's like stuck with him and she wanted an out. Like her parents didn't. Her parents basically on his side. She was to come to her parents saying that, you know, she wanted to divorce him. Her parents would basically call her an embarrassment and, you know, probably disown her. He seemed like he a pretty good person, and they didn't say like anything negative about him yet, like far as them fighting. He's the kind of guy that he basically kept work away from home and home away from work. She was always like curious about what he's doing, or, you know, what, like if he stayed late hours or whatever, or, you know, whatever trips or whatever he's into. She feel like, you know, he could have been cheating or whatever it was. Like, she just wanted to know, like, what is it? Like, you know, she felt it was something, but she don't know what it is just yet. And they still haven't said like what it is, you know. She did a little digging. One day he went out. He's the kind of control type person, so he wants to basically control his entire environment. So even she was just saying like how he don't even get drunk because he don't like to lose himself, like his self-control. Like he likes to always be under control, and you know, because people get drunk and they start speaking sober minds. So like one day he went out with one of his colleagues, and one of them brought him home, and he was like so drunk, so out of it, and she was looking like that's not what he do. So who did this to him? Like, who would get him so drunk? His friend basically was laughing about it, who dropped him off at home, and she was just like, you know what? So he ended up being like knocked out as soon as he got in the house, and his friend brought his suitcase in, and so she wanted to be a little nosy and started digging a little bit. So she started going through his suitcase, and she seen the lady Aubrey information in there, like her name and address and phone number on the napkin from this bar that he went to. She didn't ask him, she just wanted to do a little research herself. She went to the bar with what the napkin said. She went to that bar, and she basically stayed late, you know, until like everybody left. And, you know, the waitress is the lady Aubrey, and Aubrey was like, you know, ma'am, we're closed, so we'll out the bam. So she asked her basically, are you sleeping with my husband? And she was like, who is your husband? And she was like, Benjamin, what is their last name? Benjamin, I think it's Bayless, if I'm not mistaken. But she was like, yeah, and she was like, I don't even know, no, you know. And she was like, you don't have to lie for him and all of that. And so the lady was just like, you know, I don't know, you're tripping. So she showed her the napkin that the girl, you know, that had her name, phone number, and address on there. And she was like, wait, what? She was like, who is he? And, you know, that's when she learned that her Camille's husband is a lawyer. And long story short, it was a case that one of Aubrey's housemates, because coming to find out, Aubrey lived in a house full of criminals, and she was in court with one of her friends, Paul something. And the lady, you know, as soon as she mentioned, she was like, dude, this got something to do with Paul Granger, I think that's the name. And she was like, Camille was like, wait, Paul Granger? And so Camille basically got up and ran out the restaurant. So Aubrey was like, wow, she must know something, like, but why would he have my information? So yeah, so now it's like fast forward to being best friend. He's basically in being office, like trying to do a little research, because he was there with Camille when, like, I guess like right after it happened, right after Camille found Ben's body. So yeah, I just want to give you guys an update on the book, and basically the end of our video. I thank you guys so much for sticking in with me. You like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one, you guys. Bye.